He's on. Good job.
There we go.
Big one, too. They're still with him. Go to the right of me. Super nice permit.
Very good.
Look at that guy. He is perfect. There is not a mark on him.
Look at him rolling up. Look at that. What was that?
He just got on. Oh, no.
Really? Just pulled the hook.
The title?
Give him a kiss. Hey.
I love permits. I'm not so sure I like how they taste.
That is a shark.
That's the biggest fish I've ever caught. This is a stud.
Yes! Look at that guy! I thought you said you had to...
got him. Relax.
Oh my God!
The Suffolk Saltwater Experience with Captain Tom Rowland and Captain Rich Tudor.
I know a thing or two about picking permit crabs. You know, that, obviously, way too big, you know.
I thought you had big permit in mind.
Well, you do, but you may get a rejection for this, or he may bat it around a lot and not get it in his mouth, or maybe he gets it in his mouth, crashes the shell, and then you don't get the hook. Or something like this size right here, you can still throw it a long way. I would never throw that to a permit, ever. Not even if he was a 300-pounder. But this one, you know, this is the size, and these are, you know, something between, you know, these two right here. And that's about the size I'm looking for.
Yeah.
This for a little windier day where you got to throw it harder. This for the calmer day where it needs a nice entry into the water.
You showed me that one day. I mean, I used to always throw this size, and then one day down you had like thumbnail size crabs, which I thought were too small, but
that's the size right there.
We never got.
You won't get the refusal. Love the permit. That's my favorite fish, as you know. Probably the fish that I fish for more than anything else. You know, to come up into your area and see what you're doing is really cool. I mean, I fished a lot of these kind of areas, but not exactly like we had.
I told you I'd, you know, cracked the code. I'd found something totally untapped this year. You know, what I started doing is I just started exploring all these banks. Any bank I saw that had that, you know, that hard edge where the current, you know, it wasn't just where the current, you know, kind of went down the side of it.
It was perpendicular to the current,
and it had to go over. And you know how it is by those bridges, it just dumps, and on these big moon tides, you know, on the back sides, you know, I'd always looked on the upside bank. You would show me that in the Marquesas and other areas where, you know, the permit are on the upside, but this was different, you know, and I'd spend a lot of times on all these banks looking upside, and I'd see one tailing here or there, but on that hard current, I wouldn't see them. And then this time I finally started to look on the back side of these banks, and oh my gosh, I mean, everywhere you got, it was just, they're laying in those eddies, you know, the current's ripping over there, and the fish would just lay right on the bottom of that eddy.
Check that out, Rich. Look at that bald eagle right there.
Yeah. I don't see that on the permit flats too often. Where are you seeing those back in the Everglades?
Wow, check that out. Not a cloud in the sky, bald eagle coming down. Oh, there they are. See him? Put it in there. He's on the surface.
Going left?
Yeah. All right. Okay, I got him.
Don't throw the jig head. I'm in there. Don't throw the jig.
Keep us off of him. Watch yourself. Oh, shit. Behind him. Might be another one in there.
There was 4 or 5 of them, I saw.
Yeah, I know. Just keep us off of him. Keep that trolling motor off and drift back away from him.
You're on me.
Sorry.
See, they're still there. They're just popping up every now and then. I would bet that they came up on that crab when you threw that jig in there.
I think they did too. I bet I could throw it in there again and let it swing through there.
Whether they spooked or whatever, but they came up on that jig. I feel like there's got to be a more efficient way to get it down to them. I mean, maybe like you say, that jig head just falling down there.
Well, also what's going on is you can see the current's all swirling around, so you see them and you make the throw, and your crab may be getting pushed to the left or the right of them without.
Right.
We think we're on them, but I mean, I'm telling you, if they see this, they're going to eat it.
Yeah, I know, but I don't
think they've seen it yet.
Yeah, I agree.
kind of found that to be a little bit tough because you could make the cast where you wanted to. It was a lot like what it was really like was dry fly fishing for trout, you know, going to a river that you had never been before, and you know the trout's in the current, and your idea is to put the fly up here and get a drift so it's going to drift right over its head. Sometimes that's really easy. Other times it's really hard because it's drifting like this, and you know you throw it here and it ends up way over here, and that's what I felt like I was doing with that, except like with a nymph, because you can't see what's going on, you know.
He ate it.
Got him, yes sir!
Big fish.
That was awesome.
Big fish, Tom. Let me get up there and you take the motor. Nice.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Well, I lost the shoe, dude.
You lost your shoe?
Oh my God, look at the big shark up there, boy. He's gonna probably go after him.
There, he ate it.
Take your time, take your time.
He's on.
Good job.
There we go.
The Hawks Cay Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, is brought to you by Hawks Cay Resort Marina and Villas. All the fun of the Florida Keys in one island resort. Yellowfin, only in a Yellowfin. Quantum Rods and Reels, fishing at a quantum level. By Mercury Marine. Lowrance, makers of HDS, high-definition systems. By Bass Pro Shops, your adventure starts here. Sperry Topsider, a passion for the sea. And by Loadmaster, Power Pole, Corrosion Block, Ocean LED, and Tough Line.
Those permit, man, I love them. They've got to be, you know, I mean, I love all the flat species, but I'd say if one thing gets my heart pumping more, and I think it's because it's kind of the holy grail for me. You know, we don't have as many in Island Rana,
right.
and you know, whenever you talk to somebody around here, you know, it's like you know, what's you know, what would you want to catch on your day off? You know, a permit. For us, man, that permit is, you know, you ask any guy on the dock here, that's, you know, like their holy grail. Okay, I got them up there. It's a school of them.
I see something. Where are you looking?
In the white hole.
I got him. I saw one in the back of that. All right, here we go.
I'm gonna take it. It's a big school.
I can take a shot.
Tip down.
I'm in. He's gonna eat me.
Yeah, I went left. Stop, he's following you, Oh my God, he was following you as fast as you were in.
At the beginning, it was, you know, we're throwing real close and seeing them spook. And we had just a tiny bit of wind, as I remember, and we kind of, you know, it was enough wind to really keep them fairly calm. But that particular day, it was really, they were really spooky. So we had to just kind of find our groove where we're going to get that crab far enough away from them. It's not going to spook them in the water. Then to be able to drift it right in through them is tough. And obviously I figured that out long before you did. I don't think they were spooking from us. Stop.
Oh, you're in him.
Barely. I came up just a hair short. There, he ate it.
Take your time.
He's on.
Good job.
There we go.
Big one, too.
They're still with him. Go to the right of me. There you go.
I just got bumped.
You got him?
I missed him. I pulled the hook.
You know what? That might have been my fish eating yours.
We're on the power pole, so.
My fish is coming right at us.
Okay, I'm going to get another hooked up.
Hello. Oh, wow. That's so cool.
You see more?
No, but this guy's in about
Look at him splashing
an inch of water. Oh, he wants to go across that
Stand up
bank.
here and see if I can see another one. I definitely had another one to eat. Crab right up. We got in there and we saw the one fish pop up all of a sudden, and then you see, you know, and you threw over there, and next thing you know, there's another one. The whole school, that big weight came pushing in there. You hooked that one, and I was trying to hook a double, and they just kept pushing all around that thing, and that one of yours just came up and blasted it right off the top of the water.
Yeah.
Man, that was hot.
And then you didn't have anything. I like that too. You know, I was tight, and then you were just reeling in a bear hook, or I don't know if you got your bait stolen that time.
I think I got my bait stolen that time.
I just really remember that I had one on, and you had nothing.
Yeah,
you know, it's just slack line.
Isn't it cool how we're seeing them on the backside of these banks, you know?
Yeah, but I'll tell you, it's hard to get that crab in there. And you know they'll eat it if they see it properly, but with the current, the amount of current, it's hard to to get it to swing to him just right.
Look how many shots we've had. I mean, it's taking us a while to get in the right spot.
Yeehaw! Do you think that they're finding something to eat in there, or that they're just, it's just perfect for them in that particular hole? Because you can find one hole that'll be loaded and you can mark it on the GPS and they're there every single time, whereas the 2 holes on either side of that never hold them.
I think it's all current flow. I mean, you know, I bet if we got in the water, I mean, you can kind of see the eddies in the current, but I'll bet you if we got in the water and dove down to where those fish are, I'll bet you all of a sudden, you know, they're not fighting the current. And the only time, now the reason I found these spots is I'd go there on a weaker tide, you know, right when the tide's changing, and instead of being down there out of that ledge, you know, just below that ledge where they're not in the current, at slack tide they'd float up to the top, and you know, you'd see them spiking or right under the surface, and then that, you know, I finally started to piece it together, and now, you know, if that current's ripping, I just kind of go on the backside, and they're hard to see, and as you saw, they're hard to feed because the current, you know, is moving so hard.
And all you gotta do is make one mistake with these guys, with that big tail. They turn and go, and they're breaking you off. I don't care what tippet you got.
See, you don't like that.
And now you got him.
There he is.
Perfect.
Nice job,
got that head coming right up in there.
Nice job. Very, very nice.
Bring him up in here. I want to take a look at him. We'll let him go right away.
That's a nice one, dude. That'll go.
That is a super, super nice permit.
Very good.
Look at that guy. He is perfect. There is not a mark on him. Not on this side anyway.
Whoa. You see the big shark scar over here?
Put him right in here and let him go. We'll go catch another one. What I like to do is just shoot them down, straight down, let them go like this.
See you, bud.
Off they go. Did you see him shoot under there? I mean, man, you get them going and they're out. Whereas if I just let them go like that, sometimes they just kind of meander off. But you get them started like tuna, you know, they let those go the same way. That was awesome.
Nice
okay,
job, dude.
I'm ready to do it again.
Let's go get a tailer now. I think
Okay.
the tide's getting right. They might start tailing.
Tailor, floater, swimmer.
Any of the above, huh?
As long as they're permit, that's fine with me. There
Look
it
at
is.
that. Oh, man, look at that
awesome.
big tail. One of the most common questions I'm asked is about braided fishing line. People are scared of it, people want to know more information, people are interested in it. Braided line has been revolutionary. Over the years, I can't say that there's been one thing that's been more influential in our fishing. There is still a place for mono, and we use it a lot when it comes to an area where we want more stretch or we want more forgiveness. Trolling, certain applications, it's the way to go. But braided line comes in when we want to make long casts at spooky fish, especially redfish, bonefish, fish that will not let the boat get close enough to them to make the cast. That's where the braid is really revolutionary. It allows us to cast about twice as far as we could with regular monofilament. You can see the difference in the diameter. The braid is over twice as thin. That translates into longer casts with lighter baits, which will translate into catching more fish. Some of the first braids were not very good. They got a lot of tangles, handling problems, knots were an issue, but this performance braid fishes like mono. It ties like mono. The knots are easy to tie. It casts easy, doesn't get tangles. I mean, we can cast it all day long without getting one tangle. It's revolutionary. But the biggest benefit of the braid over the years has been the fact that you can cast twice as far with the same breaking strength line. That means you're going to catch more fish in more situations.
Nice big one tailing. Check it out, Rich. Stay back.
Where?
You see him sticking his tail out of the water? Here,
I got him, I got him.
his tail out. It's good.
You ate it.
Got him, yes sir!
Big fish.
That was awesome.
Big fish, Tom. Let me get up there and you take the motor. Nice.
Awesome.
Well, I lost the shoe, dude.
You lost your shoe?
Oh my God, look at the big shark up there, boy. He's gonna probably go after him. This is a big permit. That's the one we saw floating. He's a stud, huh? I think this is a stud.
He just went down in the dirt. Look, he
See how they're hanging right on the backside of those,
Yeah.
Oh, they just got off.
Oh no.
Oh my God,
Really?
just pulled the hook. Just pulled the hook.
Okay, well, let's go back over here and catch another one.
He was too big, he was gonna take me too long to reel in anyway.
When I made that perfect cast way up high, floated back there in that hole, hooked him up. I mean, that was a big
Hooked him up,
fish.
and then as I remember, he cleaned your clock.
No, he
and then
didn't
we
clean
went
my
back and
clock.
caught something else, right?
He just pulled the hook, man. He just pulled the hook.
Well, you know, either way, but what you're talking about is cool, and it's the same thing that I'll do on the wrecks. I'll purposefully go into the tide with a trolling motor. So you'll have the fish in this situation. You'll throw up here. The first thing you do is turn off the trolling motor. The boat starts drifting away from, instead of coming the other way to where you're going to hook one and then the boat's going to drift right over the top of them. But the trolling motor's been a real key thing, you know, for us this year. And going
4 years ago, would we have ever in our lives believed, you know, a few years back that we could catch a permit, a tailing permit, on a trolling motor or a bonefish or anything like that?
Probably not, but I mean, I remember when we first met, you didn't really have a whole lot of confidence in catching tailing permit at all, you know, and I think that's changed a lot, and as well as, you know, I've developed tremendous amounts of confidence in the redfish and the bonefish stuff that you've shown me too. But those permit, you know, there's a big intimidation factor with a permit that you know what it is. It's just more experience. You just get more and more experience, and I know over the last couple of years you've really been spending a lot more time on the permit. You get more and more experience, and you realize, yeah, some of these are really tough. But if we just look for a slightly different situation where the water's a little bit deeper, or instead of sticking, you know, this much of their tail out of the water, they stick this much of the tail out of the water, they're that much less spooky.
Okay. They're all over me.
I just got eaten.
You get a double.
I'm not pulling. They're right here, Rich. There's 50 of them going back that way.
You see them all around my crab? All around. All right, let's get yours.
Go ahead. No, throw another one. They're going right back up in here.
Go ahead, go with the trolling motor. Don't lose yours. My crab, I can't believe it. Why didn't they eat it? There's 50 of them. You see, live as can be.
Is it big?
No, it's a little one. I've never seen anything like that.
They were all over it. I thought you got eaten.
Stop. There they are.
I thought you got eaten several
50
times.
of them.
Go get them up there. The title?
Give them a kiss. Hey.
I love permit. I'm not so sure I like how they taste.
The Hawks Cay Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, is brought to you by Yellowfin, only at a Yellowfin. Finor, legendary tackle since 1933. The Florida Keys in Key West, come as you are. Yeti Coolers, wildly stronger, keep ice longer. Motor Guide, never stop. By Sirius Marine Weather, satellite weather direct to your boat. And by Under Armour, King Sailfish Mounts, Staybill, Scott Fly Rods, and Plano.
Seems like every time we go out, we get a
That's the way it is, man.
And that's why I call you Mr. Permit.
That's the way
Not
it
to
is.
mention you outfished me 3 to 1.
You know, well, I mean, what you're talking about is the way I feel when I go snook fishing with you. I don't know that much about snook. I mean, I can catch them if they're there and they're really biting good, but, you know, if I go to a place where I can't see them, I don't know much about them, and it's cool, you know, and you know, somebody that does something for, that's their main fish. Like permit's my main fish. Whoever is at the top of their game and that's their main fish, they're doing things that maybe they don't even realize that they're doing. You know, very, very subtle things. Maybe just a little twitch of the rod tip at a certain time that's getting the bite every time. And it's not that they're not really telling you. Well, sometimes it is, like in this case where I won't tell you exactly what I'm doing to get the bite.
Yeah, what is that secret that you never told me?
Sometimes, you know, sometimes it's not that, it's that they don't really know. It's just the way they're doing things.
It's confidence.
You know, it is confidence. God, I'm glad you finally caught one. Jesus.
Oh, there's one right under him, right in front of us.
How about if I caught him? Then I'd really be Mr. Permit, huh?
Going under you, I think. Oh, this is the same crab that those other ones refused. Now tell me why they refused it, Mr. Permit.
Gotta put the bait on the plate.
Dude, you saw that. They were swirling around it, fighting over it.
Yes, they were.
And I pulled, I reeled it away, and then they fought over some more. All I had to do with this guy's clear. He's barely hooked. Yeah! That's what I'm talking about.
It's called the permit snatch.
Very sweet. Very, very sweet.
Awesome, dawsome.
Nice.
Very, very cool. Not a mark on him either. Looks like he's made out of mercury.
So I gotta give that one a kiss too, or what? Boy, those are some pretty nice looking lips.
Gross.
Yeah, I didn't actually touch it like you crazy man.
You didn't even do it. And there he goes. I'm glad you could finally catch one.
That was fun, man. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was
was
fun.
fun.
What a nice day, dude. Talk about a lot of permit around.
God. Whew. Look at the sky. Winds dropped off.
What you call a perfect day.
That's the kind of day I like to take off.
I like it.
Not the cloudy, rainy, hurricane days
like
that
it.
we've been going fishing.
This is the best time of year, man. September, early October.
You got
My
that
favorite.
right.
My favorite.